What's up, everybody? It's episode 32 of the Fanatics podcast, and we are going to be breaking down a D-backs post-game discussion and, of course, more. I'm Damien.
Frankie,
Dylan over here, and what a roller coaster of a game, huh?
dude, like I said earlier, I almost rather it have ended 1-2 or 1-7 because scoring 10 runs in a half of an inning and then losing the game is brutal.
Crazy work.
That's like what the third time that we've done that in the eighth inning this season.
Third time?
But for sure the second time. But we can't just be expecting bailouts like that every time, even though it's extremely impressive.
Yeah, we can't do that. Can't get used to relying on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing if we're down by a couple of runs, like maybe 3 runs most, and then never say Diamondbacks like we're used to seeing, but like 8 runs like that. I mean, we had it in the bag too. We were only down by 1 run, but gosh, the freaking bullpen was just horrible today.
Oh,
Yeah.
and the sad thing is like Burns put in an actual decent start, and then it went downhill from there because we had limited availability because we used Miller, we used Puck heavily in the last series, so they needed a little bit of rest.
Yeah, our bullpen was taxed, but as much as we're making it a negative thing, it's actually a positive thing. Like this, even though we were depleted and we were facing all those adverse things that we all just said, we still almost won. So it's like this team is built for it tough.
I know, but it's like just how the opening series went down when we split that series with the Cubs, and how we just those small mistakes we made could have won that series, and it's like they barely get away with it again. It's like they just barely get away with it with us. So it just drives me nuts a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. No,
It's
I was
one of the
talking.
that you
Go ahead.
brush off and then you go on to the next one, but at least you know you have the confidence that no matter how many runs you're down, at least you can get yourself back into the game.
Yeah, and at least Corbin had a decent start, and Gino hit another bomb. So it's like the things are trending upward, and the people that are starting hot are staying hot.
I just
Yeah,
wish you
the
could
op-
get that average up.
yeah the offense isn't really an issue. It's just not. Yeah, it's just these end of the game. It's just unfortunate just how it went down today with pitching. Other than that, with how it's been going down so far this season, we would have had that game in the bag. So
And the wild thing is like our offense has still been, as post has been without Marte. So if we get him back 100% and, fingers crossed we don't rush him back, that'll just make it that much more dangerous.
I saw a notification Tori saying by the end of the month that they're aiming to have him back. So, but what's crazy is it seems like that it hasn't impacted us though.
It hasn't.
Definitely offensively, it hasn't at all.
Yeah, I think he'll just make us better though. I think like he'll come back and be a force multiplier, which is really cool because this team has a unique chance to be very good.
And it's just like we have so many guys that can get hot at any given moment, and we saw it today. It's just unfortunately it didn't turn out in our favor just because the pitchers couldn't keep anything in the park.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
well,
the
you got to
yeah
blame the weather too on that.
the winds were like what 30 miles per hour wind gusts I think.
Yeah, there was pretty crazy wind.
It was going straight towards middle field too, whatever direction that was. So wherever the ball came flying off the bat was just immediately going straight towards more. So
Yeah, I mean that's kind of Diamondbacky luck.
We got Gallon in for the next one, so we just gotta hope he locks it down and we don't have to rely on, you know, having to give it away to the bullpen for about, 2 or 3 more innings than we need to.
see, even that's making me nervous now because you just never know what you're gonna see out of Gal. Either you're gonna get close to 10 Ks or you're gonna get a shaky 3 to 5 run outing out of him, and maybe
Yeah.
5 innings pitched out there.
Honestly, though, out of all the pitchers we have right now, he makes me feel the safest.
I was gonna say, I mean, right now, anybody we've thrown out there, they haven't. I mean, they've had a game where they've been good, and then they've had a game where they've gotten completely rocked. So we haven't had really had anybody super consistent, but Fat has been the most consistent out of anyone we got, and he's
But
the
you
only
want
that we have that has an run average under 4.
to know who's really been concerning? Eduardo, my boy Eduardo. He came back. He came into the season healthy this year, and he has not been great at all.
He's getting his groove back. I didn't think his last start was that
It wasn't
bad.
that bad.
Eduardo
He hasn't been
Rodriguez.
awful. He hasn't.
That I mean, last start he wasn't awful, but overall, like I don't know, he hasn't been that big. Hasn't been too great.
Is it
He still gave up 3 yard runs last outing though.
Do you think it's time to say that there's something up with pitchers coming to the Diamondbacks and like losing their powers?
I mean, to an extent, yes.
It seems kind of like Corbin
I
Burns
mean,
ain't too Corbin Burnsy anymore.
I ain't trying to be too overreaction, like to being like I'm not trying to like overreact too much with Corbin Burns, but he's got to keep that ball in the park, son. I mean, most of his earned runs has been out of the park. It seems
Mm-hmm.
like, and that it's not really Corbin like from when you saw him in Milwaukee or Baltimore.
I mean, they mentioned it during the game today a little bit that, you know, last season he got rocked around a little bit in August and then he had to change, work his pitches around a little bit and then he picked it back up in September. So maybe it's going to be one of those tweaks that he's going to need to do to, really get that groove going again.
Gotta
Yeah,
hope so.
But
it
I think
seems like
today was a great, today was a good step in the right direction because I honestly thought today was a pretty good start outside of
yeah,
that pitch that, Kelly took out of the yard.
yeah. And it's also like we never seem to give him any run support either. So like he's out of the game, and then we're just we wake up and the batches start connecting, like So
It's we get to the bullpen, and they start smacking them away.
but
But
Dan, you didn't notice that though? How their celebration is like they're
yeah,
shooting a
I finally
basketball.
saw it.
It's just
I,
weird. It's like it's not a snake. It's just like they're shooting a hoop.
yep, it's a new type of snake.
But say Suzuki though, did anybody see that when he hit that home run? He mocked us, disrespected us. He actually did the whole celebration at third base.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I know nobody noticed that.
No,
Oh yeah, he did that for sure. I was like, you
dang. Well,
disrespectful fuck.
I
that's
mean,
crazy. He used to be one of my favorite players. Screw him. No, I'm just kidding.
that was such a giveaway.
I know we had it in the bag, 11-7, bro. And they hit 2 bombs in that. Oh my gosh, that was so bad by the bullpen.
Yeah,
When
that's
I can't
terrible.
express it enough.
so you guys think we're gonna make a trade mid-season or close to mid-season, or are we gonna try to bring somebody up to fill that void? Because there's only about 2 or 3 guys that I would fully trust to throw out consistently in our bullpen. Like we mentioned earlier, they were already used up in the Marlins series, so that's kind of like why things went unhinged today a little bit, I believe.
I mean, I absolutely think so. I've already commented and pointed out a couple of times in our Arizona Sports Fanatics Facebook group page. We're gonna have to make a couple moves at the deadline if this division is gonna keep going where it's at, because sitting where we're at now, literally in any division right now outside of the NL West, AL or NL, we'd be in first place,
That's
which
crazy.
is beyond crazy right now. So if it keeps pace, we're gonna have to make some moves to keep competitive with it.
I mean, especially when you have offensive outputs like this, but your pitching can't keep it under control.
Yeah, and it's crazy that we did so much to address pitching down to getting rid of the pitching staff, and it's still kind of a problem for the team. But it's still early. Like Dylan said, don't want to be overreactionary just yet. So
Right, and I think I mentioned in the last episode, I think that attributes to we do have a new pitching, coaching staff too as well. So that could be an adjustment period in its own.
There's also a few of those little birdies that are tweeting about Lavillo's decision making, blaming him about putting Mantiply in, officially blowing the game for us. So there's also those little tweeties out there about blaming Lavillo in the decision making.
I
Yeah.
mean, he's definitely made his handful of questionable decisions, but at the end of the day, like he really, unfortunately, really had very little options to go to.
Yeah, a lot of arms worn down. Hopefully, Gown can give guys more rest too and go at least 7 innings.
Yeah, he's got to do that more this year than he did last year. He's off to a good start this year doing it, so hopefully he continues and hopefully gives us another lockdown, shutdown performance like he did last couple and the 2 starts ago.
Against the Yankees.
Yeah, he went crazy.
And that's a
I
close he's shut down. So if we can have that Gallon, I think we can definitely tie the series back up.
ain't gonna lie, I'm not gonna watch that game. Period. Not because of work, but WrestleMania weekend. So y'all can have fun with
Nice.
that game.
I'll let you
So
know.
Wow.
yeah, I'm gonna try and be up by 6, but I'm gonna shut everything off so nobody spoils it for me. So
Nice. You know they got a exhibit at WrestleMania where you can smack Logan Paul with a chair. Not the actual Logan Paul, like a doll.
uh, I know a homie that met like a lot of superstars, even Jey Uso. I'm like, you lucky son of a bitch.
That,
Lucky
that's
guy. I know a homie that meets a lot of wrestlers and stuff like that. His name is Mega Ran. He does like music for him. He's like really connected with them. So he's on like a lot of soundtracks. It's cool as fuck.
that's pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I had a whole
Yeah, baseball's not gonna exist for me this weekend. 2 night extravaganza. So
Well, we got so many games. We'll be able to. Me and Frankie will hold.
yeah, we got it for you.
he's an AEW guy. Oh, Damien disappeared.
Whoop. Damien, what's up, bro?
Please hold. Next commercial break. Anyways, um,
But yeah, no, I don't think. I think we need to make a couple more moves, especially in terms of relief pitching. As good as we've had in guys like Beeks and Miller and Martinez, you've had, examples today where it's just it blows right up in your face and you lose games that you realistically know you should have had at the end of the day.
I think they will. I mean, Hazen typically goes for another bat and at least a middle relief pitcher. I mean, we saw him get Puck last year, and didn't he get a bat last year, or he just went after pitching?
He got a little bit of everything last year. He just met the needs where he saw fit, and we were right in the thick of things until the very last day. And as we all know, we missed out on the playoffs by one freaking game.
I know. And now it's a whole completely different ballgame with the division this year. So it's like, man, what break can we catch?
Right. Yeah. No.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty telling when you have your fourth place team, as you mentioned, Dylan, fourth place team in one division that would be the number one in just about any other division in baseball. But they're stuck at the 4 because of how OP the NL West is.
Yeah, man. Just
Welcome.
nothing but all-star teams.
Yeah, especially
Or
the Padres too. I didn't think they would catch up and be ahead like they are with the Dodgers right now. So
Well, the Dodgers are all hitting.
yeah, and the Giants have been sneaky good too.
They
So
really have.
I know because they got what Robbie Ray, Justin Verlander. They got an old starting five rotation, and they're falling right now.
I was gonna say Robbie Ray is still quality. Like I remember, oh man, I miss when we had Robbie Ray when he was at his best.
Yeah, but he also has those games where he'd be walking a lot of people and giving up a lot of home runs too.
See that
That
was
definitely happens.
Ray Day.
I know
Definitely.
Ray Day would turn into freaking I don't even know
Mayday.
horror day.
Ray Day can turn into Mayday real quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Yeah,
funny though.
he's the lyricist, so he's better at coming up with things on the fly.
You know what I'm saying? A little bar here, a little bar there.
But yeah,
But
no,
no,
go.
literally, the Diamondbacks should be able to easily make the playoffs, though. Easily with this squad.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I
But
feel like at once we get closer to mid season, like I'm not trying to toot our own horn, but I just believe in our team, in our offense so much. Like you're gonna see San Diego and San Francisco fall off a little bit, and then you're gonna see a little more. We're gonna get a lot closer to LA, and I feel like at the end of the day, we're at least gonna hold one of the wild card spots, if nothing else.
oh yeah, every single team cools off.
Every single
Dog days of
thing.
summer is what they call it, like literally in the major leagues.
And I mean, the beautiful thing about baseball is like there's 162 games, so you're until you're eliminated, you have a shot. So if you start playing your best baseball, when we hit summer, and then that's everybody else falls off, that's your in.
Yep, literally.
Just gotta hope that we can do that.
I just can't wait till we start playing more divisional games, though. I mean, I mean, I'd be down to get those freebies against Colorado, but I want to see more against San Fran, San Diego, LA. Because we haven't seen
Yeah,
any
I
of
want
those
to see
games yet.
the Dodgers.
Yeah, I want
Yeah,
to see us play the Dodgers too, so bad.
the division wars are going to be fun.
Yep. Especially at
Yeah,
Chase Field when they're gonna try to invade Dodger blue and all that shit.
I hate that, man, so much. It's the
Actually,
one thing in
impressed.
sports that literally makes me mad. Like when they're in our pool, when they're like clowning around, and I don't know why, but it really makes me pissed.
And
I'll
our
tell you
boy
what.
Steven's gonna be looking like a goon and all that in right
Yeah,
field. What a goon. Dodgers fan.
Did you guys notice how many Diamondbacks fans though that's actually out there in Chicago today?
what?
There were a lot of Diamondbacks fans in that crowd.
For sure.
So
They make me
definitely
sick.
representation outside of Arizona.
The Dodgers just have fans everywhere. Just anybody who fucking doesn't really like to watch sports but wants to act like they know about sports. They like the Dodgers or the Cowboys or a combination of both.
Well, no, it's like anybody who's a non-sports fan you see that wears like a New Era hat. It's either like Yankees or a Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
And 25% of those Dodger fans are running from ice.
Oh my god! Hey, that is not a statement I'm making.
Ooh,
I'm saying
I
that. I'm
mean,
gonna preface it with that right now. But hey, we just want to beat the Dodgers. We just want to beat LA in soccer, basketball, football, fucking table tennis, whatever whatever the team is in LA, and they
water.
going against Arizona team. I want us to spank them and spank them
there we
bad.
go.
We might have
Yeah,
to. We might have to have a PMS rating pretty soon.
Dead. It's
Well,
hilarious.
there's worse shit that's in on YouTube.
Oh yeah, for sure. Worst shit for sure. That's not nothing crazy. Um. Anyways, back on track. Um. Josh Naylor, didn't he hit a home run today?
Nah, he
No,
had three
he
in the Miami
RBI.
series.
Dude, he's been on a tear.
He's been smacking. Has
Go
he
ahead, James.
replaced Josh Bell or Christian Walker?
I I mean, especially if nothing else, like he's an RBI machine. I mean, of course we knew Christian Walker had the power, but I feel like Naylor's a better situational hitter.
Nah, he's always been more like a low average guy, like Suarez. Like you'll see streaks will like see him like hit like a lot more bombs, and then you'll see him just where he goes cold.
Well,
Yeah,
he's I think number 3 on the team in RBI, and probably I think either still there number 2. A.
Now he was saying to himself like they come in bunches. So like we saw him in Miami, and then we'll probably not see him for this series probably, and then we'll probably see a bunch more next one.
that makes sense. Some players are like that, and he definitely has been like that. Honestly,
Well, shoot, I mean it's like Suarez. He's got I think 11 or 12 hits on the year. By the time he hits, makes contact to the ball, it's
that
either
thing is going out of there.
yeah, it's either a home run or at least bringing 2 or 3 guys home.
I know. I had a gut feeling too. I was like, watch this man hit this in, and boom.
The live
It was
bet would have been crazy, bro.
it
Somebody
was nice.
was telling me that his odds were like hella good at hit a home run today too, and I didn't fucking bite.
Why, Dylan?
As it,
Why?
Cause like, how can he predict like when
Home
someone
runs
hits a
are
home
terrible.
run?
I don't do home run bets
How can you? It's
unless
like
there's
how
no
can you
sweat.
predict that? And you see those like once in a while FanDuel posts like, oh, somebody predicted three players to get a home run for $5 when fucking 15K and they hit that shit. Like
that
how,
Right.
bro? Like
Just like holy snaps. Oh shit.
I would be lucky to guess one guy on any given day.
I know. I mean, like remember that one? I don't know if MLB still does it, but do you remember like beat the streak or whatever? Where
Yeah,
like you have to guess like every day a player to get a hit, but like nobody would still be able to accomplish it.
That's so funny. Yeah,
I forgot what the
they
main
know what
prize
they're
was, but
doing.
it was like hella cash that you'd win. I think it was like 500K or like $1 million if you hit like a certain amount of days.
interesting.
You guys don't
No, they
remember
know what
that?
they're doing. They're
The
always making
Dbacks would
split.
promote that like literally almost every day. Oh, beat
Yeah,
the streak or whatever. Predict like 3 players or whatever, or somebody to get a hit every day.
yeah, and then they know that it's never gonna happen. They're just gonna get your money off of it, and that one
Like
guy is
this
gonna
March
win.
Madness bracket,
Get
it looks so
traction.
easy with the seating, and then somehow fucking don't happen.
Yeah, people are gonna get lucky. It's just never gonna. It never seems to be you. You know.
That ain't me, that's for sure.
I would guess the greatest players of all time at the time, like Goldie and fucking Trout, like every day to get a hit, and somehow somebody one of them would not get a hit that day and just break my like 10-day streak or some shit.
Or
Crazy.
be on
I
IR.
know.
Good old baseball, man. Baseball is fun. It's in full swing, and I'm happy that we're not getting buried. At least, you know.
Yeah, even though today was definitely you had your highs, you had your lows, but there's still way too much to be played to be down on just one game.
100%. And the team is way too good, so it's like we can live with it right now.
But you know what team we can't live with right now?
I know what team we can't live with right now.
You're wearing
It's,
that jersey.
yeah.
Oh goodness, we have no coach, but James Jones still has a job.
Hey,
Well, the
well, I would rather I would rather Bud be fired than James Jones, but I still think James Jones should probably get fired too. But
the funniest thing though, it's just like you, especially the way the season ended, and now that Bud is gone, you really look back to Ish's old quote where he's like, 2016 would love to have our roster and everything that we have, and they would trade everything for what we have. And then you're just like looking back on that now, and it's just like that statement looks even sillier than it did the day that you said it.
facts, yeah,
He's still saying though that we're still going to be winning championships. I'm just super curious how we're going to do that with all the predicaments that we're in with no draft picks and what coach we're going to bring in, because last I heard it's Jared Dudley and forgot who it was, but didn't it was garbage.
that
So
I was about to say that has to be fake.
I know. So it's like
I heard
Katie's not happy. The tweet's deleted, but he thinks that we want him gone. Us Suns fans want him gone. That's what's in his head currently, and the tweet is deleted, which is not the
Well,
case
that's
at
how
all.
Suns fans act. I agree with him. Suns fans are ungrateful little bastards, little whiners. We just went to the finals. We, you know what I'm saying? We do what we always wanted the front office to do and take big swings. Yes, it didn't work out, but it can't just be immediately KD's fault. KD was the best player on the team by far. So it's like,
I think a lot of Suns fans acknowledge that. I feel like a lot of the hate that he thinks that he's receiving, a lot of that is honestly going towards Bradley Beal. Even though
well,
you
I
guys are
think that
personally pro Beal, but a lot of
I
Suns
think
fans
that
have been frustrated with him.
yeah, I think that's fair, but I also think that there's trolls that are trolling Kevin Durant because they know he'll respond to them on X,
there's a lot of burn.
and he's going after those guys, thinking that they're the real Suns fans, and they're really not speaking for the actual, you know, real core fan base that wants him to say. Because I mean, we,
I feel like we
we
all want. I mean, I'm not trying to say I'd speak for the majority, but realistically, I think most people would, say that if you could have Book and and KD and then rebuild everything else, that would be the way to go. But the problem is we have a guy that's making even more money this next year with a no trade clause. That's the
yeah, well, that is not Bradley Bill's fault. I hate to say that. That's Matt Ishbia's fault. That's James Jones's fault for accepting that deal with a no trade clause inside of it. You
100%.
know,
Like I don't blame Brad for whatever in terms of the no trade clause itself. It's just some of the energy has been weird and just his availability, everything. Like it's funny because it's like one of those situations that you have to move from, but
right?
it's possible to move from.
No, I get it. Bradley Bill, if he would waive his no trade clause, is the solution. But since they know Bradley Bill has been vocal about that not being the case, and I'm sure they've had private conversations about him not wanting to do that, then now the next move is your only move, and that's trading Kevin Durant for assets because they're not trading Devin Booker. You know,
I feel
so
like if nothing else, if you have to move Durant, you get one fringe, all star and like two, a few picks, or you get one guy that's already there, but obviously not at the level of KD. But the Suns at least need to recoup something from whoever because what we have
my
right,
Dallas, my Dallas theory is gonna come true.
your Dallas theory.
Yeah,
What do
now
you
it's
mean?
even better. My Dallas theory gets better because now Nico Harrison needs another superstar to make the fans not as angry and outraged. KD goes home to Kyrie. We get a bunch of role players and some picks, and everyone's happy.
So he
You
plays
know,
in Dallas instead of Houston, huh?
yeah, why not? He plays with his buddy. They instantly have a chance to win right away. You know, it's not
I
young kids like in Houston. It makes perfect sense to be honest.
was gonna
They
say
could do it good.
because I mean, at first he really loved Phoenix, but I feel like to end his career, he's either going to end up in OKC or he's going to play. He's going to retire playing for one of the Texas, NBA squads, whether it's Houston, whether it's Dallas, whether it's even San Antonio, which is a stretch way before the other two. But I
Right.
think realistically, you're going to see a team like you know Houston take a more realistic swing.
Yeah, I could definitely see Houston, Dallas. Hell, I could even see Miami because they win. They go to the playoffs with bunk players. It's a nice warm environment. Maybe he and Bill go there. Maybe not Bill. Maybe I'm dreaming at that point. But KD, we get like maybe Tyler Hero or Bam or something.
Bro,
Makes
Bill's
sense.
still hoping to be here.
Yeah. Well, if
But
we
it's like,
have
does he
to,
not see like all the media comments? Like he is not wanted here. Like he
hey,
Dude,
doesn't care.
listen,
He's getting that bag,
if
and
we
he's
get
got
rid
that
of
retro
KD,
clause.
dude, if we get rid of KD and we end up having to keep Bill and we end up making something work with Book, Bill, and maybe some big person, whatever. As long as they win games and go to the playoffs and win more games, I don't care.
I don't
It
think that's
seems
gonna
like
happen
KD
when
is
he
gone.
doesn't. He can't even play more than 20 games. Bradley Beal.
I know, I know.
That's the issue. He can't stay healthy. He's fragile.
And this is why people in the front office must get fired. Whoever made this decision, and I hate calling for people's jobs because it just sucks and it's not what I like to do. But they literally took the franchise from a place where we were a championship worthy team because we had just gone to the finals to a place where we're checkmated into starting over basically. Like every move that we do ends up in us retooling and rebuilding from scratch. Everything. We trade Bill, we end up, I think trading Bill is the only thing that can save us and we keeping Kevin Durant. But the relationship with Kevin Durant's already so broken that he doesn't want to stay. So it's like everything trading Mikal Bridges and Chris Paul and everybody, even DeAndre Ayton, that was all a mistake. We should have kept that team. We should have let Ayton grow up. Found the right coach to pair with them, found the right things to say to make him grow up and do whatever he needed to do that he wasn't doing. And we could have gone so much farther, even with that team this year and last year. We could have won playoff series, man. Crazy
bro,
to think.
we traded DeAndre Ayton for a guy who's probably going to be a line cook at Waffle House in like 5 years.
Nurkic, I'm
Dude,
dead.
dude, Nurk, man, he's gonna be fucking. He's gonna be chilling because he's getting all this money to do jack shit.
In fucking Charlotte, bro.
Yeah, he made all that money from Portland to do jack shit. Then we paid him a bunch of money to do jack shit. Now they're paying him a bunch of money to do
I
jack
mean,
shit. He'll be okay.
you know
He'll
what?
be okay.
We've been a
Who gives
rumor
no fucks in Charlotte?
the bonus again. I'd love to pair Book with Sabonis.
Yeah, that'd be good. Sabonis has been ass lately, but the Kings are ass just in general.
And say their franchise's ass. They never should have fired Mike Brown, and that's why they had that tailspin.
We're
Bro,
ass too, bro.
the fact they blew that fucking play in against the Mavs when everybody fucking doubted them and shitted on them too is just crazy.
It's
That is crazy.
like the franchise went wrong. You fired Brown. You pissed off De'Aaron Fox. He's now playing in San Antonio.
So wait, what are we? How are we getting Sabonis? I'm sure. I'm positive that if KD's not going to Golden State, he's not going to fucking Sacramento.
I don't, I'm not saying we have to trade KD to get Sabonis.
Maybe Bill will go there because it's warm.
That's what I'm saying. He can run. He can run Sacramento.
But that's going from one of the most notoriously poor ran franchises here to one of a worst franchise in the Kings, which is I mean, they won. They've won, so I guess it's not a worse franchise. But um, yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
It would be a hard sell for me if I was Beal.
at this point, I feel like Beal's more comfortable with. Well, I can't really say that because I feel like he still wants to win here, but at the same time, it's just like I feel like at the end of the day, like he's chill with just because he's getting hella fucking paid and he's playing ball in a warm state.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's he was in Washington, so even with all the people hating him and blah 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 blah, I'm pretty sure he's chilling. I'm pretty
Yeah, he
sure
gives
because
no fucks. He has the best agent in the world. He's making 50 million a year. Knows his
he's a
son's gonna
very
do shit
nice
about it.
person. He's
He
a
is
very good dude. Everyone loves him as a human, so I'm sure the teammates are dapping him up and being nice to him because he's just a great dude. But I think when it comes down to brass tacks, Matt Ishbia, James Jones, or whoever it's gonna be, they're gonna get in the room with them and be like, "Hey, bro, this is what we need you to do, man. We're paying you all this money. Everybody kind of is like, what are you doing here? So it's time to figure out what's going on. We're gonna lose Tyus Jones too, so I mean, we got to keep Monte Morris, right? Like,
well, shoot. I mean, if nothing else, like you
got a
either
lot of this.
might get him to restructure or you almost buy his contract out, which wild to say,
That's what's being flirted with right now, wildly enough.
yeah. And Ish is paying so much, so many to not even be in the building right now. That would be astronomical.
I respect it, but it reminds me of Jerry Jones in a way. You know what I mean? Like Jerry Jones just spends all the money making all his players the highest paid, but there's really no culture built, outside of them winning back in the day when he was young. And they spend all this money on all these players and still somehow, some way find a way to be wildly disappointing.
Yeah. Like I don't
Makes
I
me
don't I
uh-huh.
don't feel him for his energy or his passion, but he definitely needs to have a little more advisement, especially before he makes, especially before you just walk in the building and tear everything down.
I like Matt Ishbia, but I just feel like the way he talks about the team, it just something about it just I don't like it. I don't know how to explain it, but like the
You
way
feel
he's up there, like even the security guards are mad, and it's like, and he said that like three
Oh
times.
yeah,
It feels rehearsed. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like
like it's
He's
disingenuous.
reading off the teleprompter like,
I would never say
like
disingenuous because he came in and really tried to go for it right away. Like I really do think he wants to win, and I really rock with him. But I just feel like I didn't hear the right stuff. You know what I mean? Like I know that's crazy because he was saying all the right things, but I just didn't like I didn't get that feeling like, oh, everything's gonna be okay. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I didn't get that like reassurance. He's like, oh, you're not excited right now, but next year you'll be excited. Next year I'll be excited for what? What's gonna make me more excited from right now to next year?
Yeah, I was gonna say
What's gonna
what's gonna make this $400 million team that missed the playoffs.
Yeah, because
And
even Stephen
losing
A is
Kevin
even
Durant?
saying, because you guys hear what Stephen A say about Matt Ish on the verge of being
Who?
the worst basketball owner
Oh
in
yeah,
NBA
he's
history on first take.
yeah.
Frankie
You see what Matt HB said back?
Sterling.
No, what do you say?
He said, "Yeah, I heard what he said." He said, "I don't take what Stephen A. says seriously," and he said, "I don't think many people take what Stephen A. says seriously, and nor should they." He said, he was just basically going off about how much he's done in the community, how much he spent on the Mercury's practice facility, and the moves he's made. Not, I mean, he said they didn't work, but he said, "Don't act like I was, trying to tank the Suns. I'm out here trying to win." And he said that he'll be apologizing to him, though. He says that he knows that Stephen A. Smith will apologize to him. He said so because he's
Dude,
gonna do a great
Interesting.
job.
he's gonna be waiting for that one for a long time.
Well, unless we turn around and win the championship next year or something. You know
Yeah,
what?
Stephen A. Smith gives zeros. We already know
Giannis to the Suns. No, I'm just kidding. That's just pie in the sky BS. But
We already know how sports media personalities are against Arizona teams. Look at the fucking shit that Mad Dog did a couple years ago. I'm gonna
Oh
fucking
yeah,
air if the freaking Phillies blow it to the Diamondbacks. Still fucking on the air today.
oh yeah, he was going crazy. that was very funny, honestly. He lost his darn mind.
Dude,
that he
everybody
did.
lost their freaking mind, and it was hilarious.
It was great.
Good times.
Yeah, but they're talking about Book, and they're gonna offer Book like 100. I'm rounding up 150 million bucks for a 2-year extension. That would make him, I think, a Sun until like 2031 or 2030 or something like that.
See, I dig that, but also at the same time, I don't want Book here if he's not going to be competing for championships.
For me, I don't care about that, to be honest. I'm going to be totally real with you for a moment in time. And I don't care if Devin Booker ever wins a championship with the Suns or not. Obviously, that's what I want. And I mean, I do care. But even if he doesn't, I want him to stay. I want him to be like Larry Fitzgerald. And here's the reason why. It's because that's what builds your city's culture in sports. Larry Fitzgerald's, Buda Bakers, Devin Booker's. If everybody does a Steve Nash and goes and plays for the Lakers at the end of their career just to win a ring, or a Sean Marion go to the Dallas Mavericks and win one, then there'll be Dallas Maverick legends, and they won't be Phoenix Suns legends. You know what I mean? So it's like it's tough. We need legends. We need our stars. We need the foundation for culture. We need people to come here because Nash played here. We need people to come here because Book played here. You know what I mean?
That's deep shit,
So
dude. Definitely
yeah,
deep.
Booker means more to the city for me than a championship ring. And that's crazy to say, but he does. So that's how I feel about Devin Booker and the Suns. And if he plays for a different team, it'll really break my heart, honestly.
I was gonna say, and I don't think you have to worry about that because he's shown time and again that that is his likewise feelings towards Phoenix. Like I think he's gonna retire here regardless.
He has to, bro.
And like you said, you got to bring in, we had within the last couple of weeks we've had guys like Calais Campbell and Patrick Peterson come back. So as you said, that is big, culture building moments for.
Right. Those guys are Cardinals. Those guys aren't Ravens or Steelers. They're Cardinals. So they need to retire as Cardinals. And hopefully other people will take note and follow their lead. And that's why I am not too hard on P2 is because, I mean, he played, 13 seasons, and 10 of them were with us. And eight of those 10, he was a Pro Bowler. You know
All
what I mean? So what are we talking about?
dude, he's first ballot.
Easy.
And
Everybody does PEDs. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, though, like, I don't give a fuck what he did. He's the Cardinal, man. We got to hold on to our greats. We gotta love our guys. Like even Randy Johnson put on a Yankees uniform. Broke my heart. What the hell, dude? You killed the whole bird over here. You killed the whole bird. For us. All
that
right.
is the most pigeon in history.
Right. Murphy.
Rest in peace.
But yeah, I mean, outside of that, we're heating up. We're getting ready for basketball, right? No, I mean football. Excuse me. Tyler Murray.
NFL draft in 6 days.
Dude, we got the draft next week. Let's get hyped.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm starting to worry about what we're gonna do at 16. It's starting to seem like we're just gonna pick a player.
I mean,
I feel like a plan, but it's also a plan that's based on
what else happens.
Who's there at 16. So I feel like if we have one or two of our guys available right there at 16, I think we're just fine. But of course, if you start seeing that board move pretty quickly, I wouldn't be surprised if if they really like somebody like a Kelvin Banks Jr. I would not be surprised if they moved up a little bit to get him.
I really, by the way that they've been posturing, I honestly don't think they're drafting anybody else but like pass rushers. Or I think that's what
We
the
have
hardest
so
set up.
much pass rushers on the board.
Yeah, it's like, dude, we had to have pass rushers. Like, dude, don't you think you should get a cornerback? But Jalen Ramsey has just became available. I don't know if you guys know about that.
Oh, I do. I just don't know if we're.
I think we're in the market, bro.
Do you
I
think?
honestly, truly think that they're gonna make something happen for at least because I thought it would be Tyreek Hill, but now they're not trading Tyreek.
Yeah, they
So,
just announced they are not going to move Tyreek for now.
but they are moving Jalen Ramsey, which is ridiculous. Not the right thing to do for that team, but whatever.
And
We're not a Dolphins podcast, so I don't actually care about them. But I would like to get Jalen Ramsey in the building. Oh, that'd be sick.
well, not only that, but it's just like with the trade value of veterans, like we could probably get him for like a fourth or a fifth.
That would be crazy, huh? We could get him for like picks, and then we could just take on his ridiculous salary and hope he's still good.
Bro, have him 2 games a year against the LA Rams
Right, for
as
sure.
more
There's gonna be
fuel,
some spicy
like fuel to the
games.
fire. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I would love that.
that would be sick.
You'd seen him match up against Devonte Adams and or Nakua.
I forgot that
Yeah,
that we definitely need to get a cornerback now. I mean, even
I've
though the
been
ones we have
saying
are
this. I've been preaching this for even in the group for so long.
Dude, I tell you what,
Uh,
else
my
like
mock
split
is
my
Will Johnson.
and give him one of our young corners. Not Williams, obviously, but
Just give him picks. We'll keep our corners.
I
Just give him
mean,
picks.
man,
I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to still drafting a corner too.
Hey, if
But
Will
while we're
Johnson's available, I want
dude,
Will Johnson.
if Johnson's there, take him. But if he's not available, and
He's not gonna be there at 16, bro.
I feel like for number 16, our pick is probably going to be either somebody like Grant,
Kenneth Grant, yep, my guy Kenneth Grant.
Kenneth Grant, or we're going to get somebody like uh, Pierce Jr.
That dude's
Mikael
like a
Williams.
faster version of like Vince Wilfork.
Mikael Williams.
Yeah, I feel like Williams is gone before 16.
True. Well, if Shadur Sanders, if the Giants and the Titans and the Browns listen to him, he's gonna go at like 9, and that might push back Will Johnson to 16 or somebody that would have gone higher. Now is gonna go a little bit, couple spots lower because Shador is not gonna go as high as he was gonna go.
See, and that's
But
like I kind of thought this the other day, and I mentioned it on one of the sports boards. But I feel like you just said there's a chance that Shadur could fall, to New Orleans at 9, or even as far as 14 to Indianapolis. And I think that would be an interesting situation. You bring him in with Daniel Jones and freaking Anthony Richardson.
there's no way he gets to 14. If he gets to 14, we trade back because somebody's if they don't take him at 14 because they already have 2 quarterbacks, then he's there at 16, and then we get a whole heap and hell a lot of draft picks and whatnot because when you move up for a quarterback, you got to pay that quarterback tax.
Oh yeah.
But
So
now we're just dreaming again.
yeah, no,
Now,
realistic. Like we very well could end up with a guy like Grant Pierce Jr. or even if he was to theoretically fall, even a guy like Will Johnson at 16. But I feel like this draft is deep enough that we could get our edge rusher and our offensive lineman, as the draft progresses.
and beyond that, we can go with Dylan's injured Arizona cornerback.
Benjamin Morrison in the second round.
Yeah, Morrison. We can grab him. He's
Mr.
good. He's solid. There's another guy. I forgot his name, so I'm not even gonna act like I remember him. There's one more corner that I really like that we could probably grab in the first or second round, and I think the team is looking solid.
Or
Dude,
he can show us the Benjamins.
I like
Yes.
the Ole Miss.
Who?
Trey Amos out of Ole
That's
Miss.
exactly who it was. Yeah, Trey Amos.
Dude is a stud.
Yeah, he's nice. And Kyler Murray doesn't seem like he wants another receiver.
Dude, there's gonna be a lot of good receivers in this draft, though.
Yeah, listen, bro. If I was the Cardinals, I don't care what Kyler wants when it comes to if Savion Williams is there, and I got to pick, and I've already picked my best off the board. I'm taking Savion. He's
Dude,
DK Metcalf, man. He's DK Metcalf Jr., bro. We need somebody like that.
you think so?
Yes, he's DK Samuels. That's
You
who
know,
he is, bro. That's how he plays football, bro. He's DK Metcalf and Debo Samuel hybrid. And but he does have development stuff he needs to work on. But who doesn't? You know, the coming out of college.
another
Anyway,
receiver though is Jalen Noel from
what?
Iowa.
Hmm.
Jalen Noel from Iowa State. I think he could be a good upside receiver for us.
Yeah, but they don't even. They're not. I don't even think they're gonna draft no receiver. And the like was an important pick. Maybe they'll get a guy later.
Gonna at least wait till like 4 or 5.
Yeah, they'll probably get some offensive linemen, which obviously you can never have too many of them. I hope they get some Ohio State guys too. That'd be cool.
I mean, why not? You're bringing in
Justin Fry.
staff.
We already got Paris Johnson Jr.
Yup, rebuild that championship.
I'm a big fan of doing things at work, you know. And you don't want to. My fear is no matter how good Justin Fry is, he hasn't coached against NFL D linemen yet. And with a quarterback like Kyler Murray, he wants the protection to be on point. You know,
I was gonna say you're gonna have to have protection that that knows his movement and can be with him step by step, basically.
that's the only thing I'm worried about. But I mean, four of our position coaches are college coaches from last year, so that's I don't like stuff like that, to be honest. Like, why so many people that haven't coached in the NFL? Like, I get that they're your guys, the new wave of the future, and they're all luckily for us, they're at like Ohio State and schools of that caliber. So it's not they're not going to be too lost in the sauce. But still, man, I'm about the NFL experience. But Jonathan Gannon knows what he's doing. I trust Jonathan Gannon. He's earned that. So
100%. Like later in the draft, you can get a guy that went to Ohio State, like a Donovan Jackson, who can play both tackle and guard. We
what
seem
do
to
you
have
think, yo?
depth problems.
Dylan just chilling.
He's in deep thought, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just chilling.
I feel it. Yeah, I mean the Cardinals are their own whole thing, man. And honestly, I think they'd be kind of foolish not to draft a running back unless they really think Mercado is the future behind Trey Benson, because James Conner can't play football forever.
Oh
And
no,
this is a very
That's
good
where Cam
running back.
Scatterwood comes in.
Yeah, it's a really good running back class. We can get Omarion Hampton, Cam Scatterboo. There's so many other dudes too that are like solid, like number one running backs that you could just get and just have like play a smaller role with Trey Benson and maybe fight him for that two spot. And then once James is done, boom, you got somebody's gonna be one, someone's gonna be two.
I mean either way, I would, we would all love to see Scatabo in a Cardinal uniform. He would love to be in a Cardinal uniform. He said it himself. But I mean, what a combo that would be to have, I mean, even with Trey Benson still here, to have a combination of freaking James Conner, Trey Benson, and Cam Scatabo.
Right, that'd be crazy. The Cam Scatterbill would instantly become Austin Eckler of our offense, but way stronger and meatier.
Right. I feel. Oh man.
He'd be Austin Reckler.
Hashtag Austin Reckler.
That's so funny. I'm just coming with the names today. The Zingers, the Zingerunos, the Zambinos.
What time's the draft next week, by the way?
Probably in the evening, like 6 o'clock. I'm not exactly sure right now, but we'll make sure we slot that time so we're all ready and available. And
Yeah, because I know we're gonna run a Cards Draft Special Edition next week. Yeah.
Yes. And
yeah,
you be there.
Mm-hmm. I know. Hopefully, we don't be like running on there the entire time. We go to 16 Cardinals straight back. We're like, damn.
damn it.
I,
uh, that'd be
the,
rough.
the only way I'm for that is if we get, we stay in the first round and then we add like a second or a third with it.
I know, right? Literally. Uh, or get a player out of it.
That's true. Because I mean,
If we get a player on draft day, I'd be so shocked. Unless it's Jalen Ramsey, then I would not be shocked because I predicted that earlier in the show. But
Dolphins.
bro,
Dolphins give us a call and offer Jalen Ramsey for that 16.
Dolphins trade down to 16 to get Shadur Sanders. No, I'm just kidding.
I
Who
mean,
knows? Draft day could be wild.
remember we did a draft day drop for Hollywood Brown.
That was a kind time thing.
Yeah.
Monty hasn't done anything jaw dropping like that yet, though.
No, but like,
Besides Josh Sweat.
it's gonna be Ramsey.
If he could get Ramsey, I think a lot of people would be like, okay, you're trying your best. Because that would make our defense
Absolutely.
legitimately scary at all levels, We
Dude,
would have Josh Sweat and what's his face from the Browns down on the D line. And then we'd have
Dalvin Tomlinson.
yeah.
Dalvin Thomas and my bad Dalvin Big D, you know what I'm saying? My bad
Dude,
dog.
he's gonna
Uh,
eat backs all year.
and then we would have linebacker position. I mean, we
You
don't
put,
really have any stars in the
you put
linebacker.
Kenneth Brett next to Dalvin, bro, with Josh Sweat.
Not
Ooh.
Kazir White, Mac Wilson Sr., um, and Akeem Gaithers Davis, and Zach. I'm already forgetting the dude. He was our starter, Collins, not Collins,
Zaven Collins.
David Collins. I'm fucking his name up bad. He hasn't even gotten to the bench yet. I'm already destroying his name.
Hey
So we got,
David, we're sorry.
I honestly want to see Zaven used more as a pass rusher this year because now that we got the different linebackers, maybe we can just whatever he does best, just make him do that every down.
Well,
Don't try
see,
to make him do everything else.
another thing that's nice about this draft is it's like it's deep on guys that can play linebacker and edge.
And that's what Jonathan Gannon really likes, and Nick Wallace.
They thrive on having those kind of players.
I honestly hate it, but the thing about it is, the coverage for linebackers. Those guys usually can cover receivers and stuff too, but they're usually like smaller type dudes that for linebackers. But that's where the league is trending. Like linebackers and D ends aren't as big as they used to be. They used
Oh
to
no,
be all Terrell Suggs. Now they're all Micah Parsons. You know what I mean? So it's like that's a different type of human being.
you
That's a
got
different type of size.
you got guys that basically can hit like Brian Urlacher, but body like a Tyreek Hill almost.
Yeah, yeah. But the thing about the Urlacher body is they could hit him like that more times
What
and
Yeah,
not
happened
get
to
hurt,
the
and stuff. So, but they're not as fast and they can't cover as good. So it's like the trade off. And then the NFL right now, you need the coverage. So I get why it's like it is. And if I think Nick Rowless has showed us enough to know if that he has the players he needs, he can produce a banger defense. So I'm excited.
whatever
I
happened to the Deion Buchanan type linebackers?
And that's what I'm talking about. Those guys are bye
Yeah.
bye, bro. And those smackers, you're not gonna see those guys no more. That's a safety linebacker hybrid. Like I think Buda Baker's the closest thing we got to that in the league right now, and he's not even like that. You know what I'm saying?
dude, I'm
Mm.
losing my mind about the thought of having Baker in the same backfield, in the same
I
second.
miss Buchanan though.
That dude was a fucking Badger, dude. Before Honey Badger came in.
What were you gonna say? My bad, Frankie.
What?
So what were you gonna say? My bad.
Oh no, I was just saying it'd be freaking sweet to have Buda Baker and Jalen Ramsey in the same secondary.
That would be sick. Then we would have like what? Fuck, I think did Jalen Thompson switch teams on us?
No, he's there too.
Yeah, so we could have him, Jalen Thompson, Garrett Williams. That would be a sick secondary.
He
Like
could have. We could have our new no-fly zone.
Sean Murphy Bunting Jr., Dylan's
I
favorite
lost
quarterback.
faith in Murphy Bunting.
Dude,
Sean
that's
Murphy Bunting,
Yeah, I
Dylan's
lost
favorite
faith in
player
that
on the
boy.
Cardinals. I'm gonna get you a Murphy Bunting jersey, dog.
Alright.
hey, what if
I'd rather wear his Bucks jersey, bro. They at least have a ring with that name on it.
I'm weak, bro. Hey, well, at least he can. At least you know he can do it. I got faith in the guy.
No,
And
Brady
if you
bailed
have,
him out.
that's so funny. And if you have faith in us,
Kyler
then
can't
like,
bail him out, but Brady can. I bet you Brady can still do it at age 42.
but you can't.
I'm dead. Yo, you ruined my flawless segue
Listen,
into,
I will probably accomplish more than freaking
and you did it
Clayton
again.
Tune. I will accomplish more than Clayton Tune. Bet on that.
Hey, Dame's about to flow.
Yeah, don't shit on Clayton Tune. If you don't want us to shit on you, oh, I'm just kidding. We're not gonna shit on you. But if you want to have more of us in your life, which I'm sure you do, then you should follow us on all social medias. They will be in the description. Actually, they won't be in the description below. They're gonna be on our bio on our page. So click the bio on the page, and we will be followed on everything social media, and we will follow you back. You can buy merch. You can follow us on the Arizona Sports Fanatic page. It's a group of over 20,000 Arizona sports fans or so,
About 17K, I think.
17K, something like that. And the discussions are always very fun, very live, and we'd love to see you in there as well.
By the way, big ups to ASU baseball camps and recruiting for giving us a shout out and a follow.
Oh yeah,
Definitely love that support. Definitely hope ASU and U of A.
hey
Sorry,
SU.
have a great.
No, we don't.
We're mid Big 12 right now. ASU is 24-14, and U of A is 26-7.
No, you just
But
had to put U of A and talk in there, huh? Give him a shout out.
but we'd love to support y'all. Keep dropping likes, comments, etc. We'll be here for you all the time.
Later, y'all.